Hi, good morning. My tripod's on a slant, but never mind. If you keep hearing little waffles, it's because I've got a certain person who has, oops, I don't think you can see, I'm not commandeered my chair. And he keeps buffing at non-existent people that are going by. No one there, because I can see there's no one there. Right, I'll answer one question, well, a few questions actually. Sue is like me. She decides she's got to do something and she does it and she doesn't have a pattern. So all of you have asked me queries about how she's done the threaded through. I'm afraid you'll have to wait until she comes back because, oh dear, I've got a runny nose. Because I haven't got a clue. She's a great one for finding stitches, in a pattern stitch book and thinking, oh, I like that stitch. And then she'll adapt it to something else that she's making, like maybe a shawl or a scarf or whatever. That's what she does, so I'm no help, sorry. I know I do it as well. I annoy people because I do things without pattern as well. Anyway, enough of that. What have I been doing this week? Well, I don't know why, considering the untidy state of my house, but I've been watching all these YouTube videos on tiny house living, where people are squashed into small spaces. And they manage to do things with storage and wonderful things like that. Anyway, a thought came to me when my son and daughter-in-law do come to visit me. Sometimes they come for weeks on end and that. I decided that eventually I want to swap bedrooms because I've got the bigger bedroom and I don't need a double bed anymore. Half of it's not used. So I want to downsize and, eventually transfer into a smaller. I mean, I'm not talking now. This is my ideas for the future. Right, we're not talking tomorrow or whatever. Is to move bedrooms. The other one is a biggish bedroom, but it's just not quite as big as the front one because the front one's got the bay windows. So that's what my thoughts have been running along, and they've been running around the house going, if I moved that over there and I moved this there, then there would be more room here, there, everywhere, Again, it's all here and nothing's going to get done for a number of years, first save up first to do it with, But the number one priority is actually the roof. And if I do get the roof done, I want to make the loft space usable so that I can put my vast stash of yarn, etc. up there. With steps, of course, to get up to it. And then that would free up the little tiny box room and the garage for other things, Because again, I've got such wonderful ideas. No money, but wonderful ideas. I want to turn the garage into the craft room, where I put my knitting machines in there and everything. But at the moment it's cold and it's drafty and there's no way in the world I would actually go in there at the moment. But sadly I didn't win the lottery again this week. I don't know. Passes me by. Always passes me by. I'd love to do all these things, but can I have a bit of help, please, please? As my dad says, you have to be in it to win it. Well, I'm in it. I'm in the lottery, but I don't win it. But even so, if I'd have saved up all the money I spent on the lottery, I still wouldn't have had enough money to do my roof, so never mind. Anyway, what have I got today? I'm still at the moment going through making a cardigan in pink. Remember the red one, I don't know whether you do or not, that I made for my niece that she absolutely loves. I'm making one for someone else in pink. And being as I keep ordering yarn, I must get a speed up with the hook. But at the moment I've just got this buzz in my head. I want to move things. I'm looking at things saying that would go better over there. And I can't do it. I don't know why I'm doing this. Because as you know, with my back problems, I have trouble lifting a chair. Still, it's in the head, Right, what did I get this week? Blooming crochet hats. It goes from birth up to adults, and they're more or less decorative, I would say, rather than warm hats. There is a couple of just plain ones in there. What have we got now? There's the usual intro, you know, where they show you all the usual stitches to do, stitches to make. Right, this one's called Hats and Hair Treasures. Shows a little girl with her. I should explain that when you get to the very back of this book, it's saying that all these flowers and teddy bears and one thing or another that you see on these hats are all interchangeable. And it gives you all the patterns at the back of the book. So just because you like that hat pattern but you don't happen to like the flower, there's choice of flowers when you get to the back. Scalloped Beanie, that's quite open work. Again, it's decorative, but unless children walk to school these days, I mean, how many times do they actually go out in the cold, you know? Hats tend to be a fashion statement a lot of times, because children today are a little bit pampered out there. They're either in the car or they're somewhere. That's called the Droplet Beanie. Remember that all of these come from birth up to an adult size. I should have said the book's called Blooming Crocheted Hats, and it's by Shauna Lee Graham of the Bouquet Beanies, yeah? And it's 10 crochet designs with 10 mix and match accents. So a lot of them, you know, are similar, but she shows you how to put ear flaps on and how to put I don't know what you call them, a bill, a beak, a peak, whatever. That one's called the Twisted Beanie. I presume she means the stitch is twisted, because it's not actually a twisted beanie. Yeah, this one shows you how to add ear flaps to your favourite beanie. There's a whole section on that. That's the trendy slouch hat that I showed you before. Again, it goes from birth right up the way through the children to the adult size. So anything that you like, you know, you don't have to think, oh, it's just for a baby. That's the Newsboy. There's several, excuse me, several kinds of, oh dear, I've got a really sniffy nose. Several kinds of Newsboy patterns knocking about, but this one's a Newsboy band hat. This is where you should be prepared, and you should bring your tissues along, shouldn't you? Now that one's called a Twisted Headband. Again, the headband's not twisted, I think they mean the stitch is twisted. And that's got a teddy on it, but it goes from all sizes, and you could easily put the flower on it and not the teddy, you know. If you're not a kiddie, you don't want to walk around with a teddy on your head, do you? These are called Multifunctional hair ties. Again, I think these are, well, unless you're a hippie wearing flowers in your hair, I think they're more for the children, aren't they? Although, as having said that, I've been known to wear strange things in my hair on occasions. That one's called the Serena Beanie, which I quite like. It's quite a close together stitch, that one. With being on my scooter, I'm not a fan of the open work hats because the wind whistles through my ears and gives me earache. That's a comfy cloche or cloche. Again, you can put whatever flower you want on that. And I've seen some nice ones about where people have been using brooches and things. You know, you find a lovely brooch in the thrift store or whatever. Now this I like. I wouldn't use that particular flower on it, but it's called an adjustable ribbed head wrap. Now whether it wraps around, I haven't read it. I'm just showing you as I've bought the book, as I've got the book. It seems to wrap around a couple of times. It's not like a headband. Buster's decided he's going to start barking at nothing again in a minute, so you'll have to excuse him if he does. Those are two hats again. Like I said, they come in the small sizes, but they would obviously go to bigger sizes. And then there's a whole, you know, section there on interchangeable flowers and motifs. So you can make the teddy bear motifs, you can do the flowers, you can do whatever and stick them on the headbands and the hats here. Excuse me. Oh dear, excuse me. Runny nose time. This one is one I saw, it's just been published, this one. It's called The Big Hoop Crochet, and it's called Emma Friedlander Collins. Now this one, although it's nice, it's really not quite what I had in mind when I ordered it, because I thought they would all be projects, you know, to wear, because as you know I wear most of my stuff. I don't crochet. I'm going to have to get a hanky. I'm sorry about this, but it's either that or I carry on sniffing. Oh, do excuse me. I'm back. As I said, there's more projects in for the house than what I would imagine. You know, they put something like that on the front cover, and because it's a brand new book and you don't have a chance to look in it until you buy it, you tend to go by, oh, that looks nice, what's on the front cover? Yeah, oh, Buster's going to bark now because there's a big van just pulled up outside. And it's not coming to me. Well, I don't think he's coming to me. Unless he's delivering something wonderful to me. Buster, please, it's not coming here. Right, let's have a look. It says, before you begin, a lot of this, of course, will be in the t-shirt yarn, you know, where you make your... I've never managed to do that yet, I must have a go. Buster? Oi, I'm talking to you. Stop it now. Oh, dearie me, stop it. This is what I have to put up with. Stop it, Buster. His fur's come up all the way down his back, like he looks like a ridgeback now. Right, the first bit is clothes and accessories. Yeah, the van's going now, so hopefully we'll have a little bit of peace. Don't know why it stopped there in the first place. This one's called the Bobbin Cowl. So it's very, very thick and chunky. You're doing it with 2 strands and it's chunky wool anyway, so use massive hooks, yeah? And that one's called the Infinity Scarf. I'm sorry if you can hear the baby next door, but he's on top form this morning. That one's the I-cord necklace. I've never known a baby cry as much. Now, I don't think I would want one that's crocheted saddle and handlebar covers. I'd be tending to think that the handlebar cover would move around as you're trying to ride along. Could be a little awkward. Now the bicycle basket is quite nice. This lady's saying that she broke her bicycle basket. I would quite like to do that to cover, you know, the front of my plastic basket on my scooter. Make it look a little bit more, I don't know, unusual. Anybody can have a plastic basket on the scooter, can't they? But I want to have one that's crocheted with flowers on it. This one's called a sparkly collar, and again I think I wouldn't make that because it's too chunky, isn't it? You wouldn't want that around your neck when he was wearing your frock, would you? Your posh frock. And that one's an I-cord bangle, which probably would please the kiddies. This one they call a bed jacket, but I would call it a shrug actually. I can see younger ones liking that one because they like anything thick and chunky, aren't they? And that one is a chunky cuff. Now we start getting into the bags and stuff. That's a market tote. I'm always very wary about making anything like this. I made one once years and years ago. By the time I'd brought my shopping home, it was dragging on the floor because it had just dropped that far down. I suppose if you lined it, it might be better. Now that one's great, isn't it? It's only got about 6 rows in the whole hat. Might have a go at that just to see what it looks like. And I love those. They're called house boots, aren't they? Cute. Eh? I'd have trouble wearing them because I'd probably slip and break my neck in them, but I think they're so cute. And that I love. That was on the one on the front cover, the neck warmer. I think it's such a fashion statement. It's so big and chunky. I'm not sure about granny slippers chic. It looks like granny slippers, doesn't it? You know, old granny slippers. That one's cute as well. That's called a cowboy kerchief. Again, it's more of a fashion statement than anything useful. I suppose it'd be warm, wouldn't it? And this one actually is a super snood. But it's not like the ones that Zoe 24 Carat Crochet makes because it's sort of, I don't know whether, I haven't read it properly. I should read it, shouldn't I? It looks like it goes all the way down the front and like round the waist for some way or another. I don't know. You know, I don't know whether it's sort of like a a bit of a gilet thing to keep your chest warm, you know, and it goes into a cowl. I must read it. Maybe I'll find out then. I quite like these really chunky hats though. They'd be great ways of using up my oddments, you know. I've got visions of doing them in multicolours, like, you know, loads and loads of strands, you know, to make them all multicoloured. I haven't done my hats for the homeless this year, as yet. So maybe they might have chunky hats this year. Crochet with a big hook, you know. Now we're on to the homeware. Yeah, so we've got the owl rug, which would be quite cute if you've got a kiddie in the house, you know. Amuse them, put them on the floor. That's a basket weave pillow. Pillows are something I don't make because of the animals, because they get the paws fast in them. Before I had Buster, I've always had cats, you know, and they just wreck everything. Right, this one's called a holiday wreath. I don't know what holiday it meant to signify with it being blue. I suppose you could do it in reds and greens and that and make it into Christmas holly wreath. I keep saying I'm going to make one for the front door each year, but I don't. My front door is like inside a porch, so it's not like it's open to the weather, you know, because we have so much rain in Manchester. It would just be like a soggy wreath hanging down. That's a bedroll and a bench cover. Again, I could adapt that and make some covers, you know, for Buster's bed. Don't mind him pulling holes in his own bedding. This one's a cable stitch blanket, which, you know, it could be quite heavy actually, but man, you all have cans are heavy, aren't they? Now this one I think is so cute. I don't have a teapot, don't even like tea, but isn't that cute? I just think it's so sweet. I think it's the colours. I love the colours. There you are, so you can make a tea cosy in 4 or 5 rows, is it one? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 7 rows, yeah? That's candy skull rug. Again, I'm wary of things like this on the floor because I trip over my own shadow. So I don't like loose rugs on the floor for me. This one's a granny blanket. It's very, very nice, but I would suspect it'd be quite heavy. Be nice as a throw, wouldn't it, you know? To keep you warm on a sofa or something. Stripey yarn basket. I've actually got some of that t-shirt yarn that I bought in grey somewhere in my stash. So I might have a go at making a basket when I find it in my stash. That's an apple doorstop, not a doorstep, doorstop. Not sure what you fill it with. To be something heavy, wouldn't it? If it was a rock, I'd probably break my toe on it, but that's by the by. That one's what they call a faux knit cushion. In other words, it looks like knitting, but it's not. Fake knitting, faux knitting. That one says it's a tattoo rug. I think it's probably because it's got an anchor on it. Be nice in a little girl's room with a flower on it and not an anchor, you know. That's a house bowl. I've never got round to making bowls, but I just fill them up with junk, so I tend to stay away from bowls and fancy things. A ripple bath mat. That'd be okay if it was in cotton. It'd be nice and absorbent when you got out of the bath, wouldn't it, dripping wet. And that's a towel basket, or a beach bag, or whatever you want to call it. When I have this lovely house and everything's fit and everything's beautiful, of course I will have all these things. Not. And that's just a pillow. I mean, there are some nice things in this book. I wouldn't make a lot of them. We're back to the owl rug. Whoops, just another picture of the owl rug. I'll probably make them hats. I haven't got the hats and the neck warmers or whatever. And that's just a kitchen chair. It calls it a cushion, but it's not really. It's just a pad, isn't it? Just to cushion your bum against a piece of heavy wood. Right, and then they're back, of course we're back to the crochet techniques. Anyway, once again, this is called Big Hook Crochet. 35 projects to crochet using a large hook. There's hats, scarves, jewellery baskets, rugs, pillows and more. Emma Friedlander Collins. It's a brand new book. I only got it on a pre-order. And it's the same with this one. This was quite a new book as well. So that's really all what I've got to say to you today. Except that it's Sunday morning and I must go and get some stuff done. Buster's bedding is already in the washing machine. That's the only snag with having a little piddly dog, isn't it? You have so much washing every day. I had GGO yesterday because his daddy had to go down south to see his mum because his mum's not well. So I had a little GGO day yesterday. But he's no trouble. He's he loves to be cuddled. That's the only problem. I don't get much done when he's around. He gets cuddled all the time. But if you have pets and you have animals, that's what they're there for, isn't it? They're there to spoil, they're there to cuddle, they're there to pet. I mean, when this old fella decides it's time for him to leave me, I'm going to really miss him, even though he's a pain in the ear all at times. He's a lot of hard work at the moment. But you don't abandon them, do you, just because they're getting trouble in their old age? You keep on going with them because you love them to bits, don't you? Yeah. I mean, I do get a bit exasperated sometimes when you put him on a clean piece of bedding, you know, and then you turn around and 10 minutes later it's wet again, you know, and you think, I've tried him with dog nappies, I've tried him with all sorts, but he won't keep them on. So it's just a cross I have to bear, I'm afraid, at the moment, but yeah. Another thought's just come into my head about that big crocheting. I'm terrified of slipping in. I can't use a bath, but I use the shower that's in the bath. I'm terrified of slipping because when you've used shampoos and that, they're very slippy. So I got myself a non-slip bath mat that sticks at the bottom, and it's just, that gets slidey as well. So I'm just thinking I might get all my bits of crochet, my cotton, crochet with a big hook and just crochet myself a square, because I can always just stand it up, put it over the bath thing to dry in between my showers, can't I? I wouldn't slip on that, I don't think. Not with a big hook and big stitches. Thought. Oh, baby's still screaming next door. He's been screaming since about 7 o'clock this morning. Mom, Mom. I have the patience of a saint normally, but sometimes I get pushed to my limit. Rightio. Anyway, sorry if I haven't put any comments on people's YouTubes because I'm way behind with everybody's. Oh, I just catch up with them when I have time. And when I see it's like an hour long, I think, oh, I'll do that when I've got an hour. What I really need is a tablet or a laptop or whatever got. So if my family are watching, I'm 17 November. Something nice would be nice for my special birthday. Hello. Isn't that sad when you're dropping big hints like that? But as they say, if you don't ask, you don't get. I probably won't get anyway, but a tablet would be nice. Doesn't have to be a laptop. Tablet. Zoe's probably laughing at me now because she's so techno freaky. She would buy all this equipment rather than buy, well, I don't know whether she would rather than buy yarn, because she's a bit of a yarny like me. But she'd have all the latest equipment, whereas I make do with a little rubbishy camera, which is why I never make tutorials, apart from the fact I don't have the patience. I've got bitten fingernails, which are terrible, and I hate it on other people. But yeah, I do it myself. I mean, you wouldn't think I would have time to buy them because I'm always crocheting, wouldn't you? But I still manage to fit it in. And it's a dreadful habit, and I just wish I could stop it. I've tried painting my nails, I've tried doing everything. But I still do it. Disgusting, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going now. Me and my runny nose are going to go now. And I've got dishes to wash. I've got the house to hoover, lots of things to do before I can sit down and crochet. So bye for now, bye bye bye.